We are back for the first time. Make sure y'all like and share, like and share. Y'all know what we're doing. TJ, what we got going on here, sir?
Back like we never left. So what we got here? A question I wanted to pose to my co-host and to the ladies and the lawyers. All right, so I'm looking at a picture of Martin Luther King and the great Malcolm X. Not to say that Martin Luther King wasn't great too, man. Just come on, go. I can't see the words.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So it says, if these two were still alive, would they be ashamed of modern Black America?
Great
How y'all feel
question.
about that?
That's a great question. Put what y'all think in the comments. What do I
What you
think?
think?
What do I think? I think as a whole or majority, depending on it depends on depends on where you're looking at. Which Black people. You know? If you look at where we came from and where we're going, or where we came from and how we're handling this place, I wouldn't say fully, be ashamed. I would clap for I would clap for those if I was him, for those who are trying, for those are making strides in our community, as that can, and not just look at the sheep. And I gotta talk regular. I'm sorry, I can't say sheep. Look at the majority of Black people and say, y'all up to those food stamps, y'all up to that Medicaid. You're not really looking at those people, but people that are doing things that's hard to do, like own their own businesses, go protest. I mean, really still fighting the fight that's happening right now. Let's clap for those. Let's
Wow.
bash us even more. We're doing the best we can, baby. It's a hard job to be Black, okay? And we're doing it every day.
What did we share, y'all? Facebook said, ain't no way.
Facebook say, "Nah, player, not today, not today."
Well, you know what we said.
Y'all went there. Y'all went there.
Y'all.
Yeah, y'all went there.
Shout out YouTube. Shout out Twitter. Shout out Twitch. Y'all know where y'all gonna have to catch us at. It look like it's gonna be tweaking, but let's get through our content, y'all.
Let's get to it.
Ron, what you think, man? Do you think Malcolm X and Martin will be proud?
You know we love that Black
crowd. The first thing that comes to my mind is that episode of Boondocks when Martin came back, and hell no, they gonna be upset, disappointed. Like, how y'all worse than when I left y'all? That's what Martin would say. How y'all worse than when I left?
The opposition got smarter, my guy. We was moving accordingly, and they was already ahead of the game, like they've been ahead of the game. So I'm gonna say, clap for us, damn it. We're doing the best we can. Waking up this color is a hard thing, just like it was hard for y'all. And now we can't see what they're doing, but we know what's happening. They're having meetings every morning, 3 times a day about Black. What are we gonna do to keep them down? So
right, yeah, the emphasis, the fingers on that nigga. But I just think if you look at, we'll start with Martin Luther King, towards the end of his legacy, towards the end of his life, taken way too early. He started thinking about like less integration and more of financial integration, where Black people, we have our own, but financially, like, you give us what we are owed. He was starting to talk about reparations and for them to make it right. You look now, we still don't have it. He said, I feel like I've integrated my people into a burning building. And when Martin Luther King was here, we had restaurants, we had hotels, we had schools, we had hospitals, we had buses, cars, and like we owned car dealers, but it was we were everywhere. And now you look at Black people today, we don't own nothing. And Martin was like, the only reason why I wanted to get a seat at that table was to make sure that my people had everything they had to build up their own. We was afforded every opportunity. And I think if he saw how left it went, he would have been disappointed in what he did, as well as what we got going on right now. And then when I speak about Malcolm X, I can't speak for everything, but I just go simple as look how hard Malcolm X went at the Democrats and the Liberal Party. Like he couldn't stand them. He openly talked about how they were worse than the Republicans and this and that. So I think now if you fast forward to 2020 and he saw how much his people just, I hate to say it, kind of blindly vote blue no matter who, I think he would be very, very disappointed.
Especially, I think we're very passive. We've been taught to be so passive. So I think Malcolm X would be like
what's happened to y'all? Like, you know what's in you? Yeah, I don't think they would be too happy with what we have going on right now.
Drop a bomb for that one. Like, what? You know, that man said, you know how powerful you are? That means so much. But I will say, we have rebuilt a Black Wall Street, okay? And we have Black Hollywood in Atlanta. There are some things to clap about. And I'm not sure that Malcolm would be excited for us as a whole. But to look at what we came from and what we've been through, and our numbers are going, I mean, there's more of us now. You know, they bombed Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding. We do have things. I only eat black when I go outside of my house in Atlanta. Like, we have stuff.
I love to be able to do that, right? How great is the city of Atlanta?
Woo.
Shout out. One day, Ron. One day.
Very soon. We it's heavy and deep all the time, and it's shenanigans. But we got to talk about it. But let's switch up the melanin and get to some white people shenanigans. This is
why you on Facebook, Ron.
Remember how we used to compete for the Reggie Pack of the Week, CJ? We should be like, we wanted to be more. Their shenanigans are less of ours. This one is not that funny though.
Okay.
5th grade teacher arrested after admitting to an active kill list of student and staff. And we wanted to arm these teachers.
Ain't no we. Don't hit. Hey, insert Uncle Phil we. Little gift. No, sir. Not me. Nah.
Oh, not me, child.
High school. Suspect in this incident is Orlando Harris. He's a black male, 19 years of age. Graduated from the high school last year. No prior criminal history. Officers responded to calls of an active shooter around 9:10 Monday morning at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School.
Report of a shooting at the high
A black man.
Waiting to be saved. Police say the shooter, armed with a long gun, opened
Didn't Ron say he was switching up the melanin? Did
16-year-old female student
This might be
and 61-year-old health teacher Jean Kushka. 7 others injured in the attack. Officers immediately storming the building and confronting the gunman. One student live streaming from inside a classroom. Just as police arrived.
Everybody line up in a single file line, okay?
Once safe and outside, shock and disbelief. The police chief declined to say how the shooter eventually got inside, saying revealing that information could jeopardize safety. The heartbreak and horror felt by every single person here.
This children's hospital north of Atlanta, they've set up a tent right out.
Saved.
That just happened. I guess it was a melanated man.
Yeah, I got it on my it was on my phone.
So you mean to tell me a brother? Matter of fact, I don't even know he was a brother. I don't even know. He don't tell him what kind of, right. They don't tell him what kind of black or brown he was. So that's not. But you telling me you're 19, you're fresh out of high school, and you're already a teacher? How was he a substitute? It don't make sense. Don't you got to go to school to be a teacher?
I think that's one of the clones, bro. That's got to be one of those clones.
Like, for real, don't you, like, okay, if I graduated when I turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
How long realistically can I start teaching at was it 5th grade or middle school? Don't you gotta? They
should have said paraprofessional or something.
So he was able to secure a whole teaching certification and degree. Like,
because Because I mean, I hear people saying that, oh, I have one more year after I graduate high school. I got one more year until I get my bachelor's or whatever like that. But never really, I'm leaving high school with my associates or something like that. But a teaching position immediately after, it's a clone. That's my thoughts.
I smell some bullshit, bro. That don't smell right to me. They could have said something
around election time. Around election. All right.
Hey, don't get that. What you say? Regulate my gun.
You bring up around election time. Jesus. Slavery is on the ballot.
It sure is. I think I want to say we brought this up before, and now we got to talk about it now because it's time for us to vote. We definitely got to talk about this.
Oh, y'all didn't early vote. Y'all didn't early vote. Oh man,
sir. Now I don't believe in early voting. I don't think that's that everybody got their own political belief. I want to go the day of.
I ain't trying to.
It really for the big election. If you can, I think you should go the day on that big day. But I mean, that's what I like to do. I'm not saying that's what I like.
If I'm gonna participate, I'm gonna do it early. I'm gonna do an absentee.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it ain't worth damn papers.
You saw what they did with the votes before about the absentee ballots and things like that. You saw what they did before, but it's all about what you feel like what's gonna matter. It's gonna, what's gonna help. Just vote. Some people aren't voting, so shout out to you for still voting, especially early.
Hey, I shout out to the people who ain't voting too. That's your right
that's your right.
American. As American, it's your right not to vote. Shout out to everybody, whatever your political beliefs are. But I will say this. I was feeling some type of way before I went in, but I felt very, very, very good when I left. I was like, good. Now I can not be so aggressive on social media now because
right.
I feel like I did what I can do.
You did what you could do, okay? You did what you could do. I will say, I think it's really, I'm not going to get into it too much, but have you ever saw the different ballots, like with your party, whatever party you're voting for? They're totally different. I think that is crazy. We should all be voting for the same shit. I get it, but I don't think it's right. I don't think we should all vote.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Not these ballots aren't the same. When we voted for marijuana, when we voted as a Democrat, when we voted for marijuana, it wasn't on the Republican ballot.
It wasn't on the Republican ballot. Mm-mm. Right. So I know you was like pushing hard for it, which was dope. And then for the Republicans who went in there, they was like, damn, where the hell what was the ballot? I'm like, oh damn, they don't even let me guide.
So y'all just trying to see how many of us want to get fucked up. Okay, all right. Now I don't get it, but I do get it, but I don't get it. It's not right.
It's tragic. It's frustrating.
I'm sorry. Slavery's on the ballot.
Right, like we in 2022 down to, and we sitting on here talking about hoping we're gonna get some reparations. Meanwhile, they conspiring to put us back in slavery. Like, it's really a conversation. It's wild.
Now,
that's not what that was talking about.
Now let's talk about what it actually is going to be on the ballot. Not just slavery's on the ballot. What is it saying? What's going to be on the ballot?
What this is saying is it's going to basically it's asking you, should prison labor still be acceptable? Should they make prisoners work for 2 cents an hour, 25 cents, wherever it is an hour, like that? That's what it means. If you look at the Constitution, it said that the slaves are free except when you're under arrest or something like that. So like when you go to jail, you lose all your rights, and by law you can be a slave. You're a slave now by law. Right. So they getting rid of that, which I think that should be just across the board. I mean, I understand prison labor, but if you got prisoners that's working, they should be making minimum wage at the least. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be no getting over on them folks because they're in prison. I know it's reasons they should have been in there, but they already incarcerated.
Yes. Since you already voted, is it a yes or no question? On the ballot, is a yes or no question?
No, that wasn't one of the ones. You know, I'm in Georgia, and I didn't see that on my ballot. I don't think Georgia was one of the
Oh,
5
okay,
states
okay.
that was in there. Yeah, Georgia ain't giving up no prison labor. Are you crazy? Not Georgia. Not with Kemp. No.
No,
I
absolutely not.
honestly don't think it would be any state. Like it's a major funding crisis in the U.S.
Right.
No matter how
you'll be shocked how fast the crime rate goes down when you start doing different things like that, because these police departments, these correctional facilities, the city has an obligation to these places in most part when they sign these contracts to build these huge prisons, that you're going to supply them with a certain amount of prisoners. And if you don't supply them, you don't hit that quota, then you got to pay them. So the prison going to make their money regardless. So it's either going to be from the taxpayers' pockets through the state or through the city or county, whatever you would order, or it's going to be through prison labor. So, the head count, how many people in there and what they can get, them to do. Just for instance, the welfare king himself, Brett Favre, even suggested, the one who stole all that money from the underserved people in Mississippi, he suggested that they use prison labor. He still wanted that money to give to his daughter's volleyball team, but he suggested they use prison workers to do the renovation to the school so it can be free, much cheaper. Right. And I'm like, everybody know, man, the jig is up. So shout out to the 5 states that's leading the charge. I think that's just got to go. If you're going to make them dudes work, you at least got to pay them, bro. But I ain't talking about cleaning up side of the road. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Oh, now I understand clean up side of the road for community service hours, but geez Louise.
That's be volunteer work. If they making you do it, they should have to pay you for that. Like, that's, you know what? Speaking of that, I hate to get off subject. How do y'all feel, right? Because we all got kids, right? How do y'all feel about your children? Cookie dough, we from South Georgia. You remember there were times where, like, there was students that were, like, cleaning the tables off and stuff, like, after we ate and all that. Like, it was almost like a punishment type thing. How do y'all feel about that? Like, would you let your kid, if your kid came home and say, yeah, I was the one who was cleaning off the tables and everything like that, like after everybody ate, or they had me on, they call it lunch duty. Like at my son, they had me on lunch duty. How do y'all rock with that? Like,
oh, I do remember that.
Right. Yeah. It's a no for me. My son ain't hell no. They gonna clean up after themselves, but not now. No. My son came home one time and told me that, boy, I couldn't get up to that school, but I almost.
You should have to sign something that says you can do that to my kid, just like the whoopings.
We ain't have that up north, sir. That's wild.
Listen, I'm like, bro, I don't know what I told my son, nah, bro, don't ever.
They whoop kids here.
Listen, bro. They used to. I don't know about now, but corporal punishment damn sure used to be. I remember that.
That's wild to me.
Not me though, but
like I hear people our age that got whooped in school. I'm just like, what?
Listen, I remember. I never forget this man. I can't say the name because then people know it.
Right.
The principal came up to he came and got me out the classroom, and he got down on the knee and looked me right in my eyes and was like, "Do you want your paddling now or later?" That's what he said to me, and I looked him straight back and said, "My mama said, can't nobody up here put their hands on me, and if you talk about thanking me, then you're going to need to call her." And then I used to know her number for work off the top of my head. I read the number. I was like, nah.
You should have.
Yeah. So
nah.
Yeah. My mom was like, nah, not my son. I don't know what kind of games y'all got. But I feel like that. I don't know. I just cannot let my kids be cleaning up behind other folks. Like,
absolutely not. To answer that question, absolutely not.
And find another punishment.
Find somebody, right? Find something else to do. That's not it. To get back to the topic that we just were on, I don't know. I think that all across all the states, they should be paying them. There's some places that are not paying them at all. They're just doing it. They're just doing work. They're not getting paid at all. So everybody should get paid. I know that. I don't know. I don't think that's one of the lower fights. Like, I mean, they all need to get paid for sure. Fighting $7. I agree. I don't think that's like we need to do that now. Let's start protesting for that. Stop! Don't go there. I don't know.
Or even if you like, I guess it's really like slavery. I'm like, you can maybe they used to tell you if you earn enough money as slave, they used to get a slave a little nickel here, a dime there. You earn enough money, you can buy your freedom.
Yes.
They
God.
At least get a dude chance to get out. Folks being there, bro. It's just crazy to me. It's just even the fact that they had to clean their own, like they ain't there cleaning their own floors and their own. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. But then it ain't for me. I ain't going. I don't plan on doing that. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
At the end of the day, the prison systems, once you go in, is meant to make, the person serving that time better for society. And just making them a slave, not giving them any education, any benefits, no pay, no anything. And it's crazy, it ties all back into with the school system. It's the same. Is we really sending our kids to school to get them ready for the real world? And I think we can have a deep conversation. The answer is no. All we doing is piling debt up on them and teaching them how to be robots.
That's
it's
what they
all
teach.
That's a Fendi fact. That's a Fendi fact.
And it's all shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, Confederate Confessions. This is why we ain't live on Facebook right now.
Where do we need to go to? How did 30 seconds in? I promise you, they probably never had this happen before. Hey, yo, Brody, that looks like some more like medieval armor than anything. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a Civil War historian. Like, I know all the drip that they had.
He did too. Where's the video?
Oh, this is for the History Channel. Okay. Do you know what time the auction block starts?
They didn't have an auction block today.
Fuck. I was trying to be the first overall pick.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. Why do we have to leave?
What are we doing here?
We're with the History Channel.
I love it.
Oh, was just the drip back thing.
I'm sorry?
This was the drip back thing. We just want to be as historically accurate as possible.
That's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not okay. This is not okay.
But this is history.
We have good, bad, and ugly.
It was invited. We don't know who you are or where you came from.
So anybody that came it said anybody could come.
Really?
Yeah, that is definitely not historically accurate.
He's not with us.
He must have watched Django or something. That's make believe.
No, sir.
I thought it was against the law for a nigga to be on a horse. Hopefully not.
I'll let you tell him that.
Yeah, you tell him that.
Facebook
Just
ain't
like
ever
you said
letting
it.
us.
Scared of horses.
Well, first off, what do you identify as? No, like, are you Caucasian, Asian, Blasian?
A certain period of clothes that you got to have on. For instance, sandals and stuff, you can't do that.
Oh, no. 100%. Sorry. This cotton's already processed, the cotton gin already got it. So I couldn't find any unpicked cotton. That was kind of hard.
In the bag.
Oh. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna pick it. I'm gonna pick it. Like I'm down to be on ammunition duty. I'm down to be a rifleman. I'm down to work the field. I'm down to be in the house. I would prefer to be in the house though. I'm from Chirac. I know how to use a gun.
Yeah, but still, we don't know that.
Look at this nigga. Like, look at this dude.
Party City.
Get your ass out that horse.
I'm from the Candyland Plantation.
That's great.
I'm property of Calvin Candy.
Where are you from?
I'm trying to tell you, Mississippi.
Tell me the truth.
West of the Mississippi.
Why are you scared to speak the truth?
Okay, do you want me to break character?
Do you really need a break character? What just happened?
I watched it before. I want to know the location. Do you know the location?
I don't. Oh, I would love. So it's obviously one of those Confederate versus the Union, a reenactments or whatnot. And these guys decided to show up in historically accurate fashion. And it was freaking hilarious. It was so funny to hear the people they was like, but that's not right. Then you're thinking about well, you're dressing the part.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, baby.
Show the other side. Show the other side.
So making people feel real uncomfortable about their racism. And it being hilarious like this, that's right up my alley. Sign me up for this right here. Whoever those two guys are, Let's find him. Let's get him on the show. Let's follow him. I need more content, fellas.
Yes, that's too funny.
The
That's
crazy
too funny.
part to me is like how everybody is responding. Like they have no idea what they're talking about or what they're saying. They're like, "What? We weren't racist. That's not how America is." Like watching, you know, watching how they all dealt with it. It's like they really believe it. Like
That's not appropriate.
History out their minds.
Right. That was wild. Great trolling. Gotta show the other side.
That was trolling. That's the word. That is the troll of 2022.
I love
so
it.
far. I haven't seen a better troll. If there's a better troll out there, link me to it.
Speaking of trolling, CJ, where is our calendar at for the year?
Oh damn! I gotta wait on
no calendar since April.
Yeah, I gotta wait on somebody.
Calendar since April, big dog.
I gotta wait on somebody from Twitter to post it first, and then I can be the Twitter repost CEO on Facebook.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for it.
Yeah. Hey, y'all find it. Just send it to your boy. Just send it to me, and I share it out. I'll tag you after I send it out and everything. Give you shout out to. Help me get this calendar back right. I'm too far gone. I forgot too much stuff.
We waiting.
Retweeted by Tariq Nasheed. Black woman has home foreclosed and awarded to who?
White people. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, man. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I'm saying it one more time. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Black woman has home for BET. Man, we nobody ain't submitting. Get subscribing up for BET.
I can't even look at it.
Nuts. That's what we need to be canceling right there. All right. But yeah, this lady, it was a little, I don't know, it was a little confusing to me when I was reading it. I guess because I was like really up there when I was reading it. But yeah, it's like they had bought the house, furnished it or whatnot, but then was living somewhere else, and then they came back to see that these people were just living in their house and wouldn't leave, kind of thing. So, and they had destroyed the house basically and all that kind of stuff. So they're trying to fight to get the people out. Like it's And then the bank is like, oh well, y'all missed payments, and she was like, no, I didn't. I can prove I made. So it's like a whole. It's a lot more than just a hit. Yeah.
Is that something like those squatter stories?
Yeah, it's a squatter. Yeah, somebody squatted in there. So you can get in there and then you can start getting mail delivered. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
See, me.
At your request.
You gotta get cousin Pookie and them, Ray and them to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ways you get people out your house.
Mm-hmm. I gotta switch over to my phone.
We don't condone any wrongdoing on individual work here on Speakeasy 2.0. I'm just saying.
I can't believe this was dirty today. I'm shocked and flabbergasted, y'all. We ain't even do nothing that bad. But as we get ready to round out tonight, Drake and 21 Savage is coming out from the album. CJ, how much do you care on a scale of 0 to 10?
I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be in the negatives there, partner.
Is it because of his last album, or I'm just?
Nah,
help us explain. Help us understand.
I'm not really.
You don't like elevator music?
I'm not really into music. I'm not really into hip hop.
You don't like TikTok music? You don't like TikTok music?
No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I like a song with a good beat. You know, my son and my wife, they do keep me in tune with what's going on. Ron keeps me abreast of the music. But I'm just like, my genre was like, maybe like 06. Like after about 06 is when I really stopped. Like, I became that old man, and I kind of just embraced it because I know growing up, my mom couldn't stand my music, and I used to be like, "Cause y'all old." And then I started hearing music that I just couldn't stand. And I say, well, you know what? Instead of just forcing it on myself, I'm just gonna listen to what I like all the time. And then, unless I get around other people, and I'll be like, oh, okay, what's that? I'll throw that in the rotation, and I'll toss it in the rotation or something like that. But when I hear stuff like this, it's like, nah, I get excited seeing y'all get excited, but I don't give a fuck.
Right. So Cookie, our adventure here is we got to keep Mr. CJ up and up to date to what's going on in the music industry, as well as our folks that's tapping in. Make sure y'all tap in on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, because Facebook is hating. Shout out you, Mark Zuckerberg. Kodak Black is coming out with a new album. West Side Gun's coming out for album. Juice World.
I do like Kodak now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Juice WRLD's coming out with a new album. I see that. I'm just like, why can't niggas even die in peace no more? Why are y'all still making folks music? That money, man. This is an ignorant world we live in.
Yeah, once you gone, bro, they own the rights to all that, man. Like, imagine if you passed away, right, and your family doesn't own like your memories, like your. It's just the industry is a cold game, boy.
Speaking of ignorant, our last topic of the night. Dang, Cookie done disappeared. The last question was for you, girl. Speaking of ignorant, CJ, you know what's ignorant? Women that don't leave the toilet seats up for the fellas. It's a cold world. I try to make sure my boys understand that you should leave the seat down. Wipe it off after you get done playing your thing. And you know, you gotta make sure women are around. But how come nobody ever cares about us? Let's see.
If I put the seat up to urinate and then put it down after I'm done, at your request, that is 2 seat repetitions per urinary event. This arrangement means that if you go into the bathroom, you can just sit down and urinate and leave with 0 seat repetitions per urinary event. Would it not then be a fair and equitable marriage arrangement, creating a scenario where we are both responsible for only 1 seat repetition per urinary event? And she's gone. I put the seat up.
Hey, he preaching.
He preaching.
Take your time, Pastor.
He's preaching.
He said, he's gone.
I would say it makes sense what he's saying. When I go in, if the seat lifted up, I put it down and I go to the bathroom. My husband comes in, he lifts it up and goes to the bathroom. That's how it's supposed to be.
2 seat repetitions per use. Okay, since you cabin Cookie, how many times have you left the toilet seat up?
Well, when I go to the bathroom, I'm probably bringing the seat down and using the bathroom.
Right.
So when he goes to the bathroom, he puts it up and goes to the bathroom. So that is what I was doing in my household. I'm not like, you leave the seat up. I'm never doing any of that. Listen, it's a team effort here. It's a team effort.
You are a rare breed.
You know,
even like ingrained in me. Hey, you remember March and Martin when they was going back and forth and Gina said, zip it and flip it. Zip it, flip it. Zip it, flip it. So,
I just want to know who came up with that idea in the first place, that we have to do this for our partner. That is this is ridiculous.
Well, shout out to the Petty Kings, because Petty Kings and Queens, y'all gonna be mad at me when I tell y'all what I do. I don't know why we're engraved to do it as men and women. I don't blame women for not having a thought. It's never something we talk about. This is probably the first time this dude, he's the only one that's talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
But to be done, what I do, CJ, is once I'm done with the toilet, I make sure I close everything.
Oh, you do? You one of those guys?
Y'all gonna start from scratch around here.
Everybody got to lift lids.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you more petty than the dude just asking for one flip per use.
Oh my god. I agree with that man.
Personally, I don't mind, just because when let's just say every time a man goes to the bathroom, it's not always standing up. Mm-hmm. So let's say if it's in the middle of the night and it's been wing, I don't eat wings every day, but I have my wing night. Maybe one night the wing catch a butt slipping, right? Mm-hmm. And I got to go through the dark, wading through the dark to get to the bathroom.
With your one eye?
With my one eye. I'm so accustomed to that lid being down. I don't want what happened to me. I see having some of these females that they go in. And imagine, I see it. So I'm cool with it's automatically coming down. And then I know in those one-off scenarios, I'm safely nestled in the throne. You know, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've done the. Everything was
went
up,
swimming.
and I done went swimming.
That's one thing. Me and we can say that we ain't went swimming. I don't know about most. I don't think most men done had to take that dive.
Bathroom etiquette. I think it's something we got to talk about. This is maybe a future topic again. I got so many questions. But we got to get out of here. It's been an incredible night, despite the haters out there. It was always a lovely vibe catching up with y'all. We're going to have to I got to get to work. We got to put some clips out there. Y'all can catch us everywhere, even on the nights that Facebook is hating.
Shout out to Mark for letting us come back.
Right. We'll be back next week. Ladies and loyals, this is Speakeasy 2.0, Breakfast Club 2.0, Queen Cookie Dough, BDP, VP, Mr. CJ. Incredible vibe, high vibration. Y'all find the words?
Shout out Kanye.
Shout out to Musty Rabbit coming through in the clutch.
Yo,
on the YouTube.
Musty Rabbit.
$1 in the building.
Yep. We falling out. Appreciate y'all. One love.
Good night.